The following contains spoilers for Macross 7 and minor spoilers for STF Macross. Nekki Basara is one of my favorite characters in all of anime for how he is a great demonstration of the flat character arc, meaning that he isn't the one that changes so much but rather is the catalyst that changes others around him. And it's this ability to change others that is a constant struggle, often arguing with bandmates in the military and convincing of his belief that his music can move others so much that they cease fighting and listen to his song. It doesn't get any more Macross than this. From the very beginning at episode 1, his character is defined, closed eyes, quiet, contemplative, deep in thought, only to drop in by parachute in grand style to his band's first concert where he was running late, only furthering his kinderfree spirit that he goes by his own rules. Even Basara at this point has shown that he can be a bit unpunctual, but it's not a lack of care for the band, it's in his musical habit and genuinely does care for his bandmates. As Highwind's thrust into the city by enemy infiltration, Basara's first instinct is to stand behind Mylene and protect her due to her being the youngest band member and her petite stature. Towards the end of the first episode, Basara shows his charisma, taking his truth to action by jumping into the front lines and singing to everyone in the battlefield while the military fights the Proto-Devlin. Even though Basara has defined his beliefs, they are already coming into contention early on in the show. And one of the earliest struggles he faces was using force against other bands to protect Mylene. As he is angry at himself for using violent methods on others and lashes his frustration out at Mylene, only adding to his complexities that he will break his pacifist code to protect other people. But this instance only fuels Basara to be better and improve on his craft and sing with stronger passion. Eventually winning, the band that once picked on them is now cheering for them for his musical ability. This is reinforced again with Basara, trying to sing to a biker gang who don't respect Basara as they don't see him risking his life for singing. Like they do riding their motorcycles on the wrong side of the road, until they see Basara riding in his mech, risking his life for singing his song in the battlefield, and protecting them as well, which he isn't proud of for firing a rocket. It's where at this point the bikers don't partake in Basara's music, but they at least respect Basara for at least seeing him risk his life willing to die for singing his song to others. But one of the biggest influences Basara truly has is on Mylene, who can be brash and not listen to other people at times due to her youth, and her parents Maximilian and Melia Ace Piles from FDS Macross have a strained relationship, leading to Basara and Mylene butting heads often in how the band should grow and how each goes about their artistic process. Where in episode 2 we see Mylene try really hard for their next big gig, but this only causes her to make more mistakes as she starts tensing up during practice, to which Basara tells her to not care and just sing with passion, easier said than done to a person who is taking a completely different approach to their practice style. In the end, Basara's passion and philosophy wins out, but it's these genuine little conflicts like these that make the characters' interaction all the more relatable. As we all have been in group scenarios before, knowing that all our group members are vying for the same goal, but differences in opinions arise due to differing methods on how we achieve the goal. But once the conflicts occur and are resolved, the success of a group goal feels rewarding and earned. The biggest conflict that Mylene has with Basara is piloting a mech, as she uses militaristic force to defeat the Proto-Devlin, as piloting is essentially inner genes given by her parents, and Basara tells her that violence is not the solution, but she is not convinced at this point. Until their band Firebomber rehabilitates a hypnotized ally through the power of music, and the therapy actually works, and Mylene starts to realize that being able to avoid destruction through the power of music is a much better resolution, and Basara's philosophy may be right. Concluding with Mylene's character arc coming in full circle, as Basara has lost his voice and cannot sing, is about to be eaten by a monster, only to be saved by Mylene's music to help Basara get his voice back, and together they drive off the enemy with the power of music. Putting Mylene's growth in great summation, having amazing piloting skills just like her parents, the singing capabilities to affect the battlefield just like Minmay, and having learned Basara's ideology as well. And now as we look at Lieutenant Galman, part of the Diamond Force for the Macross 7 and military, and gives into his rage for revengeful destruction as he sees his friend get blown up, and always believing Basara is singing to be a nuisance on the battlefield. And towards the end of the show, it's where Galman takes a missile that Basara fires, and tells Basara that he is better than that, and tells Basara to sing with passion to save the people that he loves. And it's all these scenarios where Basara fails, but eventually succeeds in helping other characters grow and learn about what the power of music can do and the benefits of using more peaceful methods to accomplish their goals, and use their newfound knowledge to help further Basara's cause was really engaging to watch. Even with this somewhat repetitive plot structure of the Proto-Devlin invading and Basara singing to the enemy is still compelling to watch, because seeing each character react a little differently to the same scenario and the growth that each character grows through to try to understand Basara just gives me the payoff that I really adore. Not only for his ability to change others, but his complexities and other flaws only enhance his authenticity as a character. Even when Basara's confidence is wavering and is in need of a boost in spirit, he dives deep into self-reflection, examining when he was an orphan kid whose goal was to move mountains with his music and guitar, working on new songs for Firebomber throughout the night and contemplating what he is lacking in his music at times. His self-grievance when he resorts to violence, breaking his code of honor only out of desperation, and also his ineptitude for not waking up Siva with his music, leading to an entire arc where Basara ponders his reasoning for singing. but it's the people that he's touched and moved along the way that are there to pick him up when he is down. Whether they be main characters or side character, Basara's music reaches them all on a personal level, and eventually waking up to feel his musical spirit is fully restored. To where he sees his goal on a much more grand scale, where he wants everyone to listen to his music throughout the entire galaxy, reaching for the pinnacles of all of Macross. For all his accomplishments to change others and journey of self-confirmation, he is still a human with flaws. Basara wears his flaws on his sleeve and can rub people the wrong way by saying their philosophy is flat out wrong to the point of being caustic, even wanting Milane to leave the band at times. And it was primarily Basara's fault for why Milane replaced their previous band member in the first place, showing that his thought process can be imperfect at times and act out of emotions where he gets in his own way. And it only adds to his realness as a character and relatability for me, as he isn't afraid to say what's on his mind at times, whether it be his own bandmates or the military, on how to practice or when he feels like singing or sharing his general beliefs. And I really do admire this aspect about Basara. Even though he can come off as blunt and brash, he still speaks his mind, communicates his ideas, and stands firm by his beliefs at times, believing that he is a free-spirited, motivated musician that wants to have an outcome that may have more resistance but is a better resolution for both parties and will not be manipulated by anybody at the convenience of whenever a conflict arrives. For his abilities to confront and overcome external conflict from other characters to overcoming his inner conflict and finding his purpose of singing makes me feel for Basara as a great character. Thank you very much for listening. If you have not seen Macross 7, give it a chance. The Macross franchise is fairly standalone and SDF isn't required, but if you want a little more narrative juice from Macross 7, then watch SDF Macross first. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out the Smugglers Channel if you haven't already. His channel was the one that really got me into Macross. And check out Neon UFO, who's got a great written piece on Nekki Basara if you still weren't convinced by the end of this video, and has some really cool art as well. Links will all be down in the description below, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.